Morning student, today's chapter, that is chapter number 4, that is heat. Already we discussed regarding this chapter. Already I am discussing regarding what is heat, what is the heat, and when they introduce this heat, or when the scientists have discovered this topic called heat, and what is the temperature, what is the instrument which is useful for measuring temperature, and also we have studied regarding two types of laboratory thermometer, that is clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer. Sorry, there are two types of thermometer, that is laboratory, clinical, as well as digital, but digital is not mentioned in your chapter. So today we are going to talk about an important topic, that is called heat transfer, which is related to the chapter, which is related to the main heading called chapter. Heat transfer. How this heat transfer take place? Transfer of heat, we can say. Transfer of heat. Transfer of heat. Transfer of heat. Transfer of heat. So we are talking about the transfer of heat. So transfer of heat, by reading this topic, by seeing this topic, what you understand? Transfer means something is moving. Transfer means something is displacing. Something is the object from one place to another, it displacing its position. We can say transfer of heat. Transfer of heat. Heat is transferring through certain medium. It requires certain medium to transfer, or without medium it can transfer. We are not talking about a medium, but according to medium there are three types. There are three types. Those are, it can be transferred from one place to another, one medium to another medium, or you can say through the medium from one position to another position with depending on time. Depending on time. So time is a function of temperature. Also you can say temperature is a function of time. So here we can say there are three types, three ways it can be transferred. It can be transferred in three ways. First one is conduction. Conduction. Second one is convection. Convection. Third one is, that is radiation. Radiation. If you see in physics point of view, you can see conduction, only the one transfer of heat can take place through conduction, but this convection is derived from this conduction. The convection, there are two types, free convection and forced convection. Free convection and forced convection. By certain example we will clearly understand what is conduction, what is convection, what is radiation. What is radiation? Conduction, it requires medium to transfer heat. It requires medium. But convection, it requires medium, but it is transferred by force, by applying some force, or it freely. But here movement of molecules take place, but here molecules will not move. We will talk one by one. First we will discuss about conduction. What is conduction? What is conduction? Conduction, condition is there. Two condition is there. Conduction will take place only two condition. First condition, condition number one. First condition, when two object, the heat transfer take place, the conduction of heat take place, or conduction occurs only when the body of two objects are having different temperature. So there must be a difference in their temperature. So the body, when the two bodies, there must be difference in temperature. I can say diffference, difference in temperature. Temperature of a, difference in temperature of a, difference in temperature of two bodies. That is, we can say T1 and T2. there must be a difference in two temperature. Always this heat transfer takes place from lower temperature to higher temperature to lower temperature. Water from hot to cold, from higher temperature to lower temperature. Always heat transfer from higher temperature to lower temperature. So if you take a what happen when you keep a ball here, what happen, it will move this direction or it will move upward direction? It will move downward direction because of its gravity, because of its weight. It will move downward direction because it is a slope. In slope, the ball will move in downward direction from higher place to lower place. This is high place. This high place. So always this ball will move from higher place to lower place. Similarly, this heat also transfer from colder higher temperature to lower temperature. That is higher temperature, that is hot, from hot to cold body. So similarly, this first condition is difference in temperature of two bodies, that is T1 and T2. There must be a difference in temperature of, if two objects you are coming in contact, if you are bringing two bodies with different temperature, then definitely heat transfer take place. If the bodies are having same temperature, does heat transfer take place? No. If the body is having same temperature, heat transfer will never take place. There must, one body must have less temperature than the other body, then only heat transfer take place. So if you take in solid only, this conduction take place. Conduction take place. In solid, conduction take place. What is it now? In solid. So another condition, second condition is there. Second condition is what? The body must be in contact. Body must be in contact. Then only this conduction will take place. If body, the two object, or you can say body or object, and the object must be in contact, and also it should have different temperature. I can say here T1 is greater. T1 should be greater temperature. So heat transfer take from T1 to T2, T2 to T1. I can say two object. This is one object, and this is also another object. This is T2. This is T1. That T2 is having greater temperature than T1. So heat transfer take place from which direction? From T2 to T1. Heat transfer. Heat transfer. Heat transfer take place from this body object from T2 to T1, because T2 is having high temperature compared to T1. Therefore, heat transfer takes place from T2 to T1. So here two condition, that is difference in temperature of two bodies. There must be a difference in temperature, means one body must be have high temperature, another body must have low temperature, then only heat transfer take place. This is the condition of heat transfer take place. In day-to-day life, we have also experienced many times what happen. You take a iron rod, metal rod, you can say cold metal rod, and near the fire, what happen? After some time the metal rod becomes hot. Why this is happening? Because due to transfer of heat from fire. It is a cold place, a hot place. From hot the heat will transfer to the metal rod. After some time the heat will transfer to the metal rod, therefore increase the temperature of the metal rod. Therefore the metal rod temperature will increase. It will increase. For example, you take a experiment. We will do one experiment, how this temperature is, how this heat is transferring in a solid. This conduction take place in solid. So how this, take one flat iron foot ruler. Flat iron, you take one flat iron foot ruler, scale, that is scale. Take one foot ruler. Then also you take wax, you take wax, that is candle wax, and also you take 4 brass pin, things needed, brass pin, and also you take brick, you take a brick, and then you take, what you want to take? You take Bunsen burner. Bunsen burner. These are the things needed to do this experiment. We will see that how this heat transfer from hotter hand to cold hand. So what happen? You in a table you keep this bricks here. In this brick, you under this brick you keep this scale, that is flat iron foot ruler. You keep, after that what happen? You keep this Bunsen burner under this scale. At one end of this foot ruler you keep this Bunsen burner. So after supply this heat, what happen? No, before supplying you keep this brass pin at position 1. So what happen? Keep this pin number 1, that is 1, then pin number 2, that is 2, then pin number 3, that is 3. With the help of wax you keep this pin. Keep this pin. After that what happen? You place a burner at one end, burner with the help of gas or anything. This is burner. This and you keep a brick. What happen? After supplying some heat, what happen? Slowly the heat will transfer to this. This is called this. Initially this flat iron foot ruler is initially called. What happen after supplying heat? What happen? First this third one will, the fin will get detached and it will fall. Why? Because the heat is transferring, this wax will get melted, and first third pin will drop. It will detach from that foot roller and it will fall down. Then next second one, then next first one. Then similarly, what you observe here? What you observe means first third one is which is the near the flame, which pin is near third one, then second one, third one. So we can conclude that heat transfer from hotter end, from this is hotter end, and then it will travel to colder end. Similarly, it will. So from this experiment, what you will do? From this activity, it is clear that it travels from the hot end to ruler to the cold end, and without the actual movement of any particles. Actual movement of any particles, you observe any particles is moving in this ruler? No. What is there? So if you actually, what is happening inside this solid? How this heat transfer take place? So what happen? Take one solid. You have studied about matter. What is matter? Matter is anything that occupies space and having mass. That is matter. But how matter is made up of? You have studied in lower classes. Matter is made up of from several tiny particles called molecules and atoms. Molecules and atoms. These are very tiny particles. We cannot see with our eyes. We can see with the instrument called microscope. These are very small. These molecules and atoms together forming a matter. So if you take one object, this object is made up of molecules and atoms. So what happens? If you see internal structure of molecules, in solid especially, you will see the molecules are kept in very close to each other. They are packed in close to each other. The molecules are closely packed each other. So what happens? They are arranged in one. Got it, na? So these molecules are arranged in a random order. In orderly, it is arranged. In solid, you will find. What happens? When you supply heat in this end, what happens? The heat will first transfer to this molecule. These molecules will gain energy. Heat is a form of energy. So this heat is supplied at one end. What happens? This end is colder region, this end is hotter region. What happens? This molecule will gain some energy and it will start vibrating. When they get heated, what happens? When they get energy, this molecule start vibrating. They will vibrate and they will transfer. This molecule will transfer the energy to the next adjacent molecule. That is next molecule. Then they will start gaining that which is in cold. This molecule is hotter place. This molecule is hot, but next to that another hotter molecule that is very cold. In that colder molecule, they will observe and gain energy, and they will again vibrate, and they will become hot, and again they will transfer. Like that, the heat is transformed from one molecule to another molecule, then it will reach after reaching to every molecule get heated, then they will vibrate, and then the metal get heated. This is how the molecules, or we can say this is how the heat transfer. They will vibrate, but these particles are not moving from one place to another. Here molecules are fixed, but they will vibrate and they will pass to the energy to the next molecules. But here the molecules are not moving from one place to another. In conduction means conduction molecules are not moving, they are fixed in one place, but they are passing the energy from one molecule to another one. This is the reason. These atoms and molecules are the reason to transfer energy. If any molecules gain energy, they will vibrate, they will not stop quietly. If they get energy, this is how the heat transfer takes place in a solid. If you take a water also, in water, if you talk about water, air, these are 4 conductors of heat. They are very 4 conductors of heat. So how they are getting heated, I will explain in next time. So this is how conduction takes place. Conduction means what? The transfer of heat takes place with the help of medium. The transfer of heat takes place in a solid medium without actual movement of its molecules, we can say, without actual movement of any medium. It requires medium, but without the actual movement of these molecules, heat transfer takes place from colder region to hotter region is known as conduction. So this is how conduction. Next we will study, next class we will study what is convection, then what is radiation. Thank you.